Thank you for coming. Welcome to Manor Farm. We're here today to remember 9 young Americans. Exactly 80 years ago today, they died when their B-17 bomber, Miss Ida, crash landed here and exploded in the field about 30 yards behind us. We must never forget their courage and service. I'd now like to introduce Jerry, who's going to give you a bit of a historical background to that day.
Well, as Paul said, thank you everybody for coming, the vehicle owners, the plane owners, ultimately Paul for allowing me to pursue my interests, and also to another old chap called Eric Bromley, who introduced me to the 457th Bomb Group about 14 or 15 years ago. 457th was activated in July 1943 on the airfield Station 130, now known as Conington. It was completed later that year. The first mission for the fireball outfit this big week. Squadron leader Commander Dixon named her Miss Ida after his mother. Miss Ida flew 32 missions, the first being in September the 28th, 1944. On April the 5th, 1945, the mission was to bomb the Ordnance Depot at Ingolstadt. This was to be her last. Fully fueled and carrying a full payload of approximately 600 tons of bombs, she rolled down the runway. Number 2 engine was on fire, and Major Dozier decided to put Miss Ida down on the land in which we now stand. There were haystacks around and also a building that was just over there behind you. Major Dozier managed to avoid the building but not one of the haystacks. There was a huge explosion which was heard and no doubt felt by Paul's father, John Williams, who recalled that he was almost blown out of bed. He raced up to the field only to be confronted by flaming wreckage with the smell of burning fuel and cordite in the air. He also helped William Meng to safety, which possibly ultimately saved his life. Today we will remember the crews of Miss Ida, who bravely and selflessly left the United States of America to fight for freedom and justice, along with a fellow countrymen who have paid the ultimate price. For you though that don't know, the memorial was made using the wing spar, one of the wing spars from the aircraft, to ensure that Miss Ida and those that lost their lives 80 years ago today will never be forgotten. They were Lieutenant Snow, aged 25, Major Edward Dozier, 26, Lieutenant James Goyot, 23, Lieutenant Harry Vahl, 24, Staff Sergeant Robert Todd, 24, Jack Tafer, 21, Tech Sergeant Robert Pinkney, 27, and Lieutenant Herbert Stempler, 28. Finally, Lieutenant Meng, who passed away in 2002, aged 80. May they rest in peace, never to be forgotten.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Major Tucker Morris, and it's an honor to be with you here today. On behalf of Colonel Stephen Lacey, Commander, United States European Command, Joint Analytics Center, thank you for inviting us to the memorial ceremony and for ensuring that the memory of Miss Ida's brave crew endures. My family and I moved to the UK in January of 2024, at which time a TV program called Masters of the Air was released. The show chronicled the heroics of the 100th Bomb Group out of RAF Thorpe's Abbott, which was a sister unit of the 457th Bomb Group, whose members we remember here today. Both units flew the storied B-17 Flying Fortress, and the show brought to life the grit, sacrifice, and courage of the American bomber crews during World War II. We felt ourselves privileged to enter into this history in the midst of RAF bases and US Army airfields here in Cambridgeshire and the surrounding region. And today brings that to an even more personal level here at Glatton. We are humbled not only by the bravery of the bomber crews in the face of immense danger during repeat high-risk combat missions, but also by the size and complexity of the combined effort of our two nations to defeat the Axis powers. Today, on the 80th anniversary of this tragic event, we are reminded of continued sacrifices being made around the globe and the critical alliance between the American and British militaries, a partnership that continues today amidst evolving threats. To the people of Glatton and the organizers of this event, thank you for remembering these men of the Miss Ida and ensuring the continuation of their legacy. May their sacrifice inspire us all to selfless action in the work set before us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. 80 years ago today.